Hello YouTubers out there in the hi-fi community. This video is in response to Kevin's challenge from Skylabs Audio and the 10 questions, which, being an analog type of person, I printed them out, mainly because I can't see my computer screen from here. But let's work these over, shall we? Name the first piece of gear that led you down the hi-fi rabbit hole. Well, the first piece of gear was when my dad bought some components in the 1960s and put it together in a custom-made cabinet, and that really got me interested. For many years I was not allowed to turn it on. It was kind of his toy. Then he moved on to some other stuff and he gave it to me, but it was a few years out of date. But the first one really was the first one that I got myself, was a Yamaha CA510 integrated amp. And it was actually awesome. It actually could have stuck me out right to today. Name the favorite piece of hi-fi equipment that you currently own. Well, actually, they all are. It's usually the one I'm working on, this KA2500 Kenwood that I'm restoring, but I also have another one downstairs in my system I'm listening to. I've just been finding a lot of these Kenwoods lately for good prices. Name the product you bought that you regretted. Yeah, that was actually, we're going back to the Yamaha CA510, which was not cheap for a guy working at a grocery store as a student. I got this idea that there wasn't enough watts there. And I bought Riga speakers to go with it. Actually, I traded it in a year later on a Yamaha A760, which was like a brand new model, around, I don't know what, 81. And the CA510 was old stock actually when I bought it. But anyway, and I paid a premium. Like, they gave me like nothing, like maybe $40 for it. It's another one of those I don't know what I was thinking moments. But the A760, well, it had more wattage, whatever it was, 80, 70, 80 watts aside. And it was, for a Yamaha, and I hate to say this to Yamaha lovers, it was a very glitchy piece. It has just some odd characteristics. The phono section had a problem with feedback. You either had to turn the bass control back, and it may have had to do with the way my speakers were maybe too close, things like that. But the CA510 didn't have the problem. It also, when you turned it up loud, it would make the lights blink. It had the X power supply. And it did this was an amp that I bought to play loud, but it sounded like garbage when it was loud. Okay. If you could use only one song to demo your stereo system, what would it be? Well, actually, I would want classic Bach, Johann Bach. It was just, it's me, especially from the 1989 album, Remember Me, or I Remember You, when at the end, that just singing that transitions into screaming, and the bass and the electric guitar, it was just awesome. Some of his best work. When he left Skid Row, he went heavier. And now the latest thing I saw from Bach, it was this relaxation. I don't know if you've seen it. He has a relaxation album out, and I think he needed it. Okay. If money were no issue, what is your perfect system? I actually have issue with that because I am inherently economical. And even if I had more money in the bank, I'd be very careful buying anything. I would explore some of the higher models of Kenwood's. I guess, okay, a Yamaha CA810, because you could put it in Class A. Let's go with that one. If you had to choose, this is number 6, if you had to choose one music format, what would it be? Vinyl. I started with vinyl. I'll probably be buried with a Bach album in my hands, in the coffin. Either that or FM with Nash the Slash. What's a stereo product that people love that you just don't understand? it's not even a stereo product, these little boom cubes. And I actually had one for a while. I don't know what it is. It just, I'm a stereo person. And classic stereo 2-channel. And the boom cubes, although for what they are, and they're so small, they can sound pretty amazing. They only sound good when everything is accentuated. The sound's a little bit too color. I don't know why anybody would buy that or any of the boys' stuff. What is your next upgrade? I don't think of them actually as upgrades. I was doing the upgrading game when I was younger, before I had a house and a family and all that stuff. When I was living at my parents', the brief time it was, I was buying new stuff all the time. Like I started off with a belt drive, and now I wanted a direct drive. Now I'm going back to an idler drive. Like, it was just, I was buying stuff because there's something about buying, especially new stuff. My next upgrade is the next thing I work on, and I see it more as just my next interest. Let's put it that way. A piece of equipment that you've kept in your system for looks alone. Well, actually, I don't have a piece of equipment that's for looks alone, but my 1985 Technique CD player, it's the funniest thing with that CD player. It's square, it's kind of, it looks dated, it's a bit scratched up. It's the best CD player I've ever had. And the reason I like it so much is I get CDs, from from thrift stores, that kind of thing, and a lot of them are in great shape, or I borrow them from the library. It plays through the scratches, and it just plays through the scratches and sounds quite good. I actually have a Denon, a DCD 815, kind of a classic model. It doesn't play through the scratches. Okay, the last piece of equipment that made you want to re-listen to your entire music collection. The one that's downstairs right now, the other KA 2500. I just got out a bunch of records, and some of them go back to, I guess the oldest one I got in 77, Boston. I often do that, re-listen to my collection, quite often. Okay. And question number 11, the bonus track. What is an accessory that has come out recently that you can't imagine living without? Well, actually, I need some help with that one. I'm kind of okay, now that Kevin talked about the disc cleaners, the record cleaners, I'm kind of interested in exploring that and getting one. I'm a little tired of using the brushes and the fluid. So, yeah, maybe, like one of those automatic record cleaners. I don't know much about them, but I would like to preserve some of my albums a long, long time. Anyway, there you go. Loving the stereo equipment. Thanks for watching and listening.